styles in the women's game. See how it goes here. FENG Yalan's played to some success in Germany in the past. I think it was 2013 in Germany. If you go online looking for FENG Yalan matches. Really spectacular play here in Germany. Despite everything I just said about FENG Yalan's game, she's playing some quick shots right off the bounce with the backhand. She's going to have to against Mima Ito. Mima Ito getting ready for a high toss serve. A little bit flatter on the counter. Pressure shots here from Mima Ito to stay on top of the bounce. Now, when we talk about difference in stature, difference in height, Mima Ito quite small. If I remember correctly, she said 152 centimeters last time we were chatting about it. This means that her center of gravity is lower, and she also takes a little bit less time to recover. Her hand is traveling, say, not as great of a distance as maybe someone like Vladimir Samsonov, Stefan Mengel. Something you can go back and watch later on ITTV when the TV programming is done. Go to tv.ittf.com. Lee Sang-soo and Junmi Zutani on the next table. But again, it's really a pleasure to see these two battle here. So Mima Ito also has some very strong performances in Germany after taking the German Open. Breakout performance. Feels like it must have been 2015 now. That was over Patrice Solia when Patrice Solia was having a nearly flawless tournament. The only match she lost in 3 events was the final against Mima Ito. Took the title in women's doubles and under 21. Was leading 10-7 in game number 6 before Ito came back to sweep the game in the match. This receive has got to be a nightmare for any server. Fast and flat, deep to the backhand. Good luck getting a rhythm against that shot. Very expressive Mima Ito. Wow. It's like a one-man show here. I guess I should say one-woman show. Mima Ito playing this point very well from the start. Inside-out forehand counter. Wow, 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 what? Again, the versatility of this backhand. You saw the spinny one first. Again, the top sheet of those short pips. Able to spin the ball, and then when she wants to, she can punch it as well. Clever idea from FENG Yalan. Leaning in at the table. As long as the table isn't moved, she doesn't automatically lose the point. Umpires generally trying to keep it fair, but not interfere as well. Now, it's interesting. A lot of people use the word talent. I personally prefer the terms skill and feeling, but Mima Ito has a lot of both. She's a natural athlete. She's all around. Ooh. FENG Yalan, though, very athletic in general, very strong and fast. Not too often we see this here from her, not so far in game 1. Gets the ball just a little wider to the forehand, adds some side spin to it, coming around the ball to bend it out of reach. Remember 9-3, it's 3 in a row here for FENG Yalan. Now in the relatively near future, these could be the finals that we see, Japan versus China. Bit of kick on the ball, nice spin there. Mima Ito surprising FENG Yalan. If we get to see a replay of that, you'll see the bounce on that ball. Or if you want to see live on somebody else's camera, cool little action shot of a camcorder here. 4 game points for Mima Ito on the receive. Long receive, Off the long serve, and Mima Ito with a strong game one. I have a funny feeling FENG Yalan's going to come back with some strong plans. Game two, Mima Ito versus FENG Yalan, coming up right after this. Back for game number two, Mima Ito with the lead 1-0, starting off with the serve. Now, in case you're curious how these players got here, FENG Yalan did not have an easy road. She beat Miu Hirano 4-2 in the opening round of the main draw, and after that, Du Hoi Kem in the last round. That was a 4-1 victory. Kicking long serve, bit of surprise for FENG Yalan. Now, Mima Ito in the opening round of the main draw, also not an easy match. She won 4-3 over China's Gu Yuting. Gu Yuting has a bright future ahead, so Mima Ito to pull off that win was quite a big deal. But if she's making shots like this, it's so tough to get into your game. It's one of the many names of the game in table tennis. Making your opponent play your game, right? Mima Ito wants to play her game. FENG Yalan wants to play hers. Question is, how can she put the pressure on? How can she make it happen? Mima Ito's very solid in the flip game. That serve's going to be a tough one. Very low, short on the forehand side. Mima Ito, as fast as she is on the feet, has to come in a few more steps than other people, bigger steps. Point so good from the start. Ball recovered. FENG Yalan right back to the backhand corner to keep it in play. Spinning backhand with the flatter forehand. The irony there with the setup of that equipment, you'd expect a flatter shot from the short pip side. But again, credit to Mima Ito that she has the versatility, that she's worked it out, that she can play spinning shots with her short pips and flat shots with her forehand side, both comfortably. Ooh, surprise, surprise. Back door left open. Gotta check the house before you leave sometimes. Little apology there, not sure if the contact was funny. Either way, quality surprise shot to tie it up for Ito. Oh, top of the net and out. Heavy side spin on that inside out forehand from Mima Ito. Aw, lovebirds coming out here for a date to enjoy the top-class table tennis. Again, the German Open, one of the best events on the World Tour, often called the Mini World Championships. So Ito wins game one, 11-6. Really wants to hang on here to take a 2-0 lead. Is going to put a lot of pressure on FENG Yalan. Interestingly enough, some players, when they're down, find courage. They play harder, they find some calm, not a lot of option. We've also seen it the other way around, players who get an early lead and sometimes get nervous about losing it, start thinking more about winning the match than the point at hand, or than playing their best. Sometimes even thinking about winning the point is just too general. The specifics of every shot, the recovery, and being able to adapt. It's been a while since I've commentated a match while there are two tables playing, and with the noise in the arena and the amount of eyes going to the other table, there are no questions that there's quite an interesting match for you to go back and catch. That's all I'll say about that. Jun Mizutani and Lee Song-soo on table number 2 for later on when you need your fix, your filling of table tennis. Big backhand, arching back from FENG Yalan, parallel shot. Coach quite happy. We get to see some new coaches with new players as well. And by new, I mean new to the World Tour maybe. Not as common to see, but of course experienced working with world-class players. Now that shot right there, Mima Ito has such a variety. I've called it the banana split before, when it has more underspin. The banana receive is the same side spin, but Ito sometimes mixes it up, and it's very difficult to tell how much underspin, how much side spin is on it. That bullet backhand sets her apart with a 3-point lead here. Shovel serve, the parallel, misses after, makes the parallel, misses the cross court and goes into a pirouette. My ballet commentary is quite minimal. Either way, you got to see a cool spin move from Mima Ito. More expressive, she's become more and more expressive over the years, but this is the most expressive I've seen her. Quality receive, and Feng Yalan gets the ball right back, doesn't move. Plays the backhand down the line. Shovel serve. I first saw in China. Ito chasing the ball, not able to keep it down. So 1 point difference. Feng Yalan looking to tie it up here. Moving a little bit more central. Let's see how that changes it up for the receive game. Ooh. Now this is surprising. It's sort of counterintuitive. Someone moves to the middle of the table and then serves it deep to the backhand corner. Ito's gonna have to be prepared for it the other way. So surprise, surprise. Heavy topspin. These are the shots that Feng Yalan can do very effectively, but Ito, for the most part, hasn't given her a chance to do. She's suffocated her with the off-the-bounce shots, the quick flat balls deep on the table. Oh, and a service there. Feng Yalan now with 2 game points. Now, typically, as we come into the third towel break of the game, the Japanese women have a big, I'd say, strategy of positive reinforcement. You see a lot of head nods of yes, yes, I understand after a mistake. Not there for Ito. Outstanding point. Saving a game point. Ito's face says, nah, still not satisfied. It's just one. This is somebody who understands the bigger picture, knows that she has to stay focused. Really see some incredible shots. Not enough. She's got to take the game here. There it was, the banana split. And Mima Ito ties it up at 10 points apiece. Deuce in game number 2. Good on Mima Ito, though. She's not celebrating too early. She's not showing. It's not over till it's over. She needs to take a 2-point lead here. That banana split, that side spin, sometimes some under. That one was straight side, very little top spin, if any, from Ito. Beautiful shot again, parallel. Feng Yalan on the run, plays it to the short side of the table for a winner. She's fired up, a big chole. So game point back to Feng Yalan. 3rd game point this game. As strong as you can play, a little break off the top of the net. Mima Ito covering the angles, getting in position quickly, and much like the player, the coach, Matsuzaki, Coach Mats, was in the corner and was just calmly clapping and watching to make sure. Second deuce here, and the match has finished on the other side. An epic match between Lee Song-soo and Junmi Zutani. No spoilers except that it's epic. The angle once again, Feng Yalan almost within reach of playing that ball right to the corner. Game point to Ito for the first time. She's been on the chase. Down 8-10, down 10-11, and now up 12-11 on the receive. Clever idea. That forehand spinny loop. You need a little bit of extra spin sometimes when you're deep on the table. Wry smile from Mima Ito. Matsuzaki being there to cheerlead, to encourage. So fourth towel break of the game, and Mima Ito, no towel needed, just staying focused at the table. Yalan tightening up the grip here on the receive. The shot that Mima Ito wanted and couldn't make the point before, Feng Yalan got, but Ito was there to counter it back into play, and she manages to take the point. Watch this one more time. Comes barely off the table, squatted near the back edge. Feng Yalan tested twice. Ito with another game point here. Second game point for the fighting younger player from Japan. Oh, Strawberry goes long. Strawberry falling off the table, and Ito, look at this. We've seen more dance moves, I think, from Mima Ito in the first two games of this match than any player in any match combined. That's how the Strawberry's done. Backhand around the outside of the ball, the opposite of the banana, or Chiquita as they say. A little bit of aerobics out here. Oh, top of the net. Oh! That's interesting. Well, we saw the same thing in the women's singles final for the World Cup with Liu Shiwen and Zhu Yuling. Neither player at a certain point was apologizing. They were just showing when they were winning points, regardless of nets or edges for the most part. Big point for Feng Yalan. Gets her another game point here, a chance to tie up the match. The power! And she earns it. Feng Yalan on the board with the game, 15-13 after saving 2 game points and having many opportunities. The plot thickens. The match gets more and more exciting, and we'll be back for game number 3 in just a bit. Back for game number 3. Feng Yalan has shown us that she can come back against the world's best, as she did in the Marvelous 12. Again, Germany, a very lucky place for both of these players. Tied up at 1 game apiece. Feng Yalan to start. Sits up a little high, and that slap shot, that forehand flat kill shot from Mima Ito takes the point. Not by a lot, though. Feng Yalan moves, gets the racket up, almost keeps it in play. Trying to dry the sweat on the face, stay cool. Gotta love how quick those little steps, those shuffles are from Mima Ito to create that opening forehand. Not an easy shot, still quite flat. Excellent focus from Feng Yalan. Not an easy ball. Comes down deep on the table with some awkward spin on it. A little bit of side and top off of short pips nonetheless. But if it's high enough at this level, players are able to stay focused and take the point. So 1 service error for Ito. Look at this swing. This has got to be so taxing. The torque on the waist, the twist. Feng Yalan going for those powerful strokes. She's got the time, she'll do it. So FENG Yalan, 27 years old, by the way. Mima Ito, 10 years younger, 17. 27, a pretty good age to be at your peak in table tennis. So at the towel break, a very strong performance here. 5 points to 1. FENG Yalan taking that last game. It changes a lot. Remember, she was down. Second service error in this game for Mima Ito. The body language right now, not so encouraging. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. When she had this body language after winning 2 big points from 8-10 down, it's described as cool and focused. When she loses points and she has it, it feels like defeat. It's funny how situation matters so much. Nonetheless, let's see. Still running away with this game, continuing the streak. If that ball comes down, it's going to be tough, but it's equally tough to make. Hands a clapping in the corner for FENG Yalan. Ooh, improvisation. Little surprise placement from Ito. She leaves it short on the backhand side. FENG Yalan was going the other way, a pattern she recognized, that forehand flip kill, but still quickly adjusts, gets in and plays a parallel shot for the winner. There are a lot of great players to watch in this tournament. In theory, it's of course too early, but we start to think as fans, as spectators, what if FENG Yalan wins this match? It'd be cool to see her take the tournament. You have to look through the other players, see who else is playing, who you want to win the most. Ito still definitely has a chance, though. We've seen players come back after losing 11-0 and win matches. Like Paul Drinkall was telling me, he lost a game 11-0 and came back to win the next 4 in a row. Something like that. Heavy topspin coming in, though. Again, the differences in spin from the men's game to the women's game. Women's game tends to be a little bit more speed-oriented, time-related, quick on the backhand side off the bounce. FENG Yalan with more spin, though. And she dominates game number 3, 11-4, after winning 15-13 just barely in the last game. This is a power shift. We'll see what happens as the players come back. Game number 4 coming up after this. Players back for game number 4. Mima Ito at the top of the screen and FENG Yalan in the hot pink with the black sleeves underneath. The difference in leg definition. FENG Yalan so strong in the legs. That being said, Mima Ito very smooth, very comfortable, very fluid in her game. Just like a whip, it almost seems like she just can slap the ball so quickly. She really generates a lot of power, and it's knowing how to use your body and time the ball right. I've only played one other sport with Mima Ito. Football to most of the world, soccer in some countries, but she was quite good. In the receive game, it's going to be trouble. This is going to be really important here. It's a much better response, but the type of pressure that FENG Yalan has been keeping on Mima Ito means that when Mima Ito comes down and has the opportunity, she can't play it soft very confidently. She's going to have to do what she did there. Go for an aggressive shot, and the timeout called. Coach Matsuzaki in the corner says, let's stop this. We need to turn it around now. It's interesting. The trend in table tennis is timeouts earlier and earlier. And I think that's for a good reason. I think there's progress in coaching. We're seeing coaches playing a much bigger role. I know, for example, you know, on the Japanese team, the coaching staff is incredible. The resources, the experience level. Some coaches even from China helping out the Japanese team. But then a lot, you know, Coach Mika Baba for the women's national team, 7-time national champion. Coach Matsuzaki has been there with Mima Ito for a long time, bringing her high levels of success. And one of the nicest guys, super fun, really has a good sort of chemistry working with Mima Ito. But yeah, the early timeout, the idea that you can change the result, basically. You wouldn't call a timeout unless you thought it would save the match, because you only get one per match if you're newer to table tennis. The notebook there, Mima Ito often has her notebook to look at notes, her mantras and reminders, any notes she would have prepared for her opponent's game. A lot of tournament players, still hobby players, think, wow, taking notes about every opponent, preparing. But yeah, when it's your living and your goal is to be world #1, bring home a gold medal from the Olympic Games in Tokyo, you got to come out prepared to do this. Know how to read the opponent, what's coming in, what their habits, their strengths, their weaknesses are, when they're under pressure, what telltale signs they have, telegraphing the location of their serves, how they perform in different situations. This data matters. That being said, also knowing what works best for you. Now, it's interesting to think that just over a year ago, seeing a coach say something to a player between points would make a red flag go up and they'd get a warning. But since October 1st, 2016, coming back after Rio, the Olympic Games, coaches are able to interject, are able to speak whenever the ball's not in play, assuming they're not taking too much time. Thinking about how many famous coaches there are right now, from Jean-René Mounier working with Simone Gauzy and Ugo Calderano, and of course national team coaches. Ooh, inside out forehand here. That's tough to handle. But I do feel that the coaching business is becoming a better and better job, more and more recognized. Perfection there. And again, the other side. Mima Ito just chasing the pattern a step late right now. If you can change your pattern, it's like code breaking. Once the receiver, the person on the other side of the table, starts figuring it out, you're already somewhere else. Look at this chop block. Just saying let's service, but gives it right back to her with a chop block. We've seen a lot of quality receives from Mima Ito, only some of which have actually paid off. Game 1 was really tough for FENG Yalan to settle into her game. But after winning Game 2, again, the seesaw has tipped. Strawberry burns her. Strawberry rash out here. I think that's what that's got to be called. And this is the beauty of this shot. It's created for a reason. It surprises the opponent. They can't see it coming. Wow, was that perfect. Simone Gauzy, Miyu Kato, Miyu Hirano maybe, but Mima Ito. I meant to say Mima Ito. Those three names, I see doing it more. Remember when it was 7-2? Timeout here, makes sense. FENG Yalan trying to cauterize the bleeding. Got to put a bandage on. Get some, what is it, vitamin K in the blood here. spinach, some iron, some folates. People who can hear me sitting next to me nodding in agreement. Nutrition. Anyway, talk about taking a metaphor quite deep. Mima Ito within 1 point here. And again, the facial expressions wouldn't have you know that. The body language wouldn't. We see this with Timo Boll so much. We saw it earlier today against Simon Gauzy. Timo Boll's down, what? Game 1 he loses, Simon Gauzy wins, and then 9-4 for Simon Gauzy, and Timo Boll just changes, and that's the end of that. And that's also something that, I mean, Timo Boll coming into that match with Simon Gauzy, he said the last 5 or 6 times they played, World Tour, Bundesliga, whatever it is, Timon Gauzy, Timon and Pumbaa. Timo Boll had lost to Simon Gauzy. There we go. Still working on English. So wow, right out of the timeout, diffused. Mima Ito ties it up at 7 points each. This could be the turning point in the match. If she's down 1-3, it's going to be a very uphill battle. But if she ties it up at 2-2, she comes in with some confidence to game 5. More experience on the World Tour in the last several years. Big point for Feng Yalan. First one since 7-2. So 5 out of the last 6 points have still been won by Mima Ito. That'll help her in confidence, but the last point will definitely help Feng Yalan. Stopped by the crowd's scream. Interesting. That flatter shot, the attempt to cover and play it out wide. Feng Yalan working very hard here. You can hear how much effort is spent. The tongue was out on the serve. And that side and top spin. Some adrenaline there. This is a good serve. It looks like underspin, and it comes back up a little bit high. Ito not able to capture the point. 3 game points for Feng Yalan. First point out of the timeout did not go Feng Yalan's way. And what a turnaround. Again, up 7-2, loses 5 points in a row. And out of the timeout, nothing. But muscles it back, wills the win, and 3-1 now. Feng Yalan is leading. Mima Ito in some hot water. We'll see if she can jump out of the spa or if it's going to be Feng Yalan who moves on. Game number 5 coming up right after this. Back for game number 5. Mima Ito shaking it off, getting ready. She's down 1-3, despite being quite close to a 2-0 lead. So Feng Yalan has taken it and run. Now, in the beginning of this match, Mima Ito wasn't missing much, from spin shots to flat shots, forehand or backhand. Feng Yalan changing a few things up in the short game, the depth of the serves, possibly the contact, subtle rotation. And this time the deep serve. Mima Ito quick to turn the corner on, handles well with the forehand. When you think you've thought of everything think again, it's just amazing how many different factors there are in any given shot. FENG Yalan definitely trying to send a message out here. Now, while actions speak louder than words, she's got some words out here, but she's got a lot of action to back it up, that's for sure. She's playing quite well. There is no chole without winning a point. Action first. Once again, thank you for the demonstration, FENG Yalan. FENG Yalan, I'm a big fan of. I think, now both of these players I'm a big fan of. I think they're great, but FENG Yalan has such a fine balance of fight in her, but humility. Ooh, right off the bounce, Ito creating a wide angle there. Again, taking it right on top of the bounce early. With the fast feet of FENG Yalan on the other side of the table, this might be the only option to play a wide ball. How much energy goes into every shot. She's 27 years old. Well, Li Xiaoxia 28 when she retired? Something like that. FENG Yalan looking quite spry out here. Wow. Now, how often do you see someone miss by that much with a shot that wasn't under the table? Love to see that one again. The spin on that ball. Thank you very much. FENG Yalan touches, it goes completely the other way. That's the time when you check your racket to see if the ball was wet, typically. Forehand flip right back in. Ito into the lead now. Now, as this situation would have it, Mima Ito has to win every game for the rest of this match. She wants to win the match. I guess that's true. No, it's not always true. In theory, for example, FENG Yalan could lose this one and win the next one. She doesn't want to, but she has that luxury. The hard work early on to take the lead has afforded her that. I had to check myself for a minute. Sometimes with all the travel and whatnot, I have to check myself, make sure what I say makes sense. Big risk here, the step around the backhand corner in the open table. Tough, you could see the eye contact with the coach there for a minute. That first backhand is so solid, but FENG Yalan's placement on the next ball, Mima Ito's still coming down into that backhand corner while she's making her shot. Makes it really tough. One more time, one, a little bit center and then goes back. Just started to make her move back to the backhand corner. Get in front of that ball. Oh, blasted, just crushed. Mima Ito makes it look so easy to flat hit a ball confidently. When you're used to spinning almost every shot, which many players are, it's not so easy to flat hit a ball unless it sits up really high. The tongue comes out, the licking of the lips as they head over to the towel break. So Mima Ito's been more expressive, I'd say, in overall body language after losing points, but FENG Yalan also showing a bit of emotion out here. It's always fun to feel like you can relate, you know what's going on in the player's head a bit. Oh, blast of a backhand. That face of Mima Ito said it all. The oh! She had the quality opener and it was countered even faster back. She put the O in Ito. FENG Yalan put the O in Ito. Not this time, clever idea. 2 steps to get in, and FENG Yalan was waiting there for the cross-court forehand flip. Mima Ito makes this shot with a pretty high percentage considering how difficult it is. You know what? Better to go home having risked playing bold. I think the more upsetting way to lose for a lot of players is when they didn't take the risk, when they tried to play safe or careful. So a 3-point run for FENG Yalan puts her in the lead by 1. This is what I wanted to see, the lobbing points of Feng Yalan. She's so good off the table, but it's shallow in near the net, and Ito recognizes it right away. The touch, wide angle, watch her come in for this. Boink. Still, Feng Yalan almost puts it back on the table. Racing in for the drop. Seen it before, saw a diving shot from Tiago Apollonia yesterday to recover a net ball. Back in the lead by one, Ito, deep in thought. It's interesting to think about the future of this athlete right here. Mima Ito, one of the very shining stars in Japan right now. Only 17 years old, and there are so many people fighting for the Olympic spot in 2020. Oh, but speaking of spots, this one's right down the line, full step around, and Feng Yalan with 2 match points. Heads over to the towel. Ito still at the table, very focused, deep in thought. 2020 aside, this point is all that matters right now. Excellent setup, gets the third ball she wants. We've seen her come back from 8-10 before. Happened in game number 2. Managed to earn herself many game points in that game. She's so quick to wrap around that ball. It was tough from her body to tell where the ball was going to go. One more match point for Feng Yalan. Ito's serve. And the spin of the backhand. Feng Yalan with a huge victory here to get through a player who was playing incredibly well through this tournament. Great match, she says, a pat on the shoulder. These are not the handshakes we're used to seeing. We're used to a slap and a walk away. Well, good for Feng Yalan and Mima Ito, but especially Feng Yalan out here. What a big comeback in game number 2, and then to continue on to win the match. The crowd will be quite thrilled to see the dazzling style, the spectacle that Feng Yalan is, the fighter. She moves on 4-1 over Mima Ito into the semifinals of the Platinum event. We've got another match coming up in just a bit. Enjoy the highlights. Next match is going to be current world number 1 Ju Yuling versus Wang Manyu. Stay right here.